Uncle. Well, he's a Barbarian Chronicle unit, and then he has the Gun Lance Drop Plus, and his overall ranking is SSS with the Mementos and with the limited Mementos. Right now, I don't have his limited Mementos, so it's about SS plus, but if you have both of his Mementos, it will be SSS. And then he's opposite of Jarrah. Jarrah is very good in AoE attack, but he's very good in single attack. So he's really a rigged boss killer. And then with these Mementos and this weapon, it's a good example. With this weapon ability, you can charge times 3, so that the damage will be very high, with the property of critical as well. And then of course, if you have the limited Mementos, it will further increase the overall attack against the raid boss. And then there's one more thing about him is the passive. If you equip this passive, for every of his action turns, he will have permanent increase the fierce attack and strong bursts of fire and critical damage up, and can be stacked 5 times. So basically, if you are fighting against a fire unit, this passive will be very good. But if you are not fighting against a fire unit, maybe you can equip the overdrive to increase the overall attack power, so that you can fight against all types of unit. But of course, if you equip this one, the attack power will be dropped so much, so I think equip the overdrive if you're fighting against other elemental. Okay, for the next unit, Len, and then he's from the Barbarian Chronicle, and he's a limited unit, but you can still hunt from the Barbarian Chronicle hard quest every day, even though he's a limited unit. And then his overall ranking is SS plus with the Mementos. And with the master ability, this one, his evasion is actually quite high. With the ration ability, his overall evasion can hit about 100%. It's really quite high. But the only thing about him is he lacks of skill attack power. Even though his evasion is quite high and he has the physical attack times 2, but then his skill attack power is not really that high, even with the Mementos. But then in future, he will have the Drop Plus. So after the Drop Plus, I assume he will become a very powerful unit. Okay, for the next unit, Labina. Well, she has this Magia Shooter Drop Plus, and then her overall ranking is SS plus with both of her Mementos. And this Mementos is a limited Mementos. Well, why SS plus instead of SSS? Because of the skill set. Well, her skill set is really very weird. Like for example, she's a water unit, so this 2 skill is really very good. But then this 2 skill is not really that good. Even though with this skill, increase the magic attack, and with this skill, it's a magic drain, and it's 100% hit, but this 2 skill damage is not really that high. Yeah, compared to these 2 skills, so it's really very weird. And then for the last skill, even though it's really a very risky skill, but then with all attack up, jewel regen and so and so. But then, if you activate this skill, she may die very easily, since it consumes her HP 50%. And then for the side ability, it's a bit waste because there's not much changes of other skill. It's only this skill changes, and the skill changes is not really that powerful. Even though the lower her HP is, the higher the damage is, but it's only against the fire unit. So if you are not fighting against the fire unit, the damage is so-so. But then, I still think she's not powerful enough. But this ration ability is still very good, especially it's a first strike counter attack and reduce the opponent accuracy down. It is quite good for arena, but then it's a probability, so beware. And then talking about the Mementos, without the Mementos, she's very weak. So minimum you need to have the Mementos, you need to use her. Okay, for the next unit, Zen. Anyway, he's a Beta Templar unit, number 10, and then he has a job plus from his unit job, and his overall ranking is SSS with everything. Yeah, so without the Mementos, his ranking is only S plus with the job plus, since his Mementos is really quite powerful. And then speaking about the main ability, all of the main ability have the change skill. Yeah, all of the main ability. But the requirement is if his HP is less than 50%. So if his HP is more than 50%, all the change skill below cannot be used. So you need to make sure that his HP is less than 50% so that you can use the change skill. And then all of his change skill is quite good, especially these 2 skill, yeah, has the higher damage of her, but it's only very good against a human, so beware. And then about this rational ability, also very good because it is a first strike counter attack with the skill counter. Why it is really very good? Because of the main ability. Like for example, this skill, if his HP is lower than 50%, he will activate the evasion gradient and counter attack gradient. So basically, he will first strike counter attack the enemies with this skill and evade the attack. So basically, he is a hit and evade unit. And then with these mementos, this special ability is also increase the counter attack and evasion and strong versus a human. So that's why his mementos is really very important. But very good thing is, these two mementos is not limited, so you can get it anytime. Okay, for the next unit, Ice. Well, he is also a Beta Templar, number 1, and then he is the first unit as a rider unit, and his overall ranking is SSS plus with everything. Well, he's really a very powerful unit, especially on Arena and the Hell Quest. Yeah, since as a rider unit, his movement is 8. So basically he can move anywhere, but his jump is 1. So you need to give him any accessory that increase his jump to 2, like Ultima Muffler, so that he can move almost everywhere. And then speaking about the main ability, yeah, the last skill. This skill is just too powerful, super powerful for the arena. Yeah, almost a one hit one kill if you are very lucky. Because of the strong versus a human and ignore the defense. And with the property of critical hit and ignore the enemy reaction, so that the enemy will not activate any reaction skill, so it's quite good. And even if the enemy is not killed, they will have the speed debuff for 3 turns. Yeah, also very good. And then he has the 3 turns water resistant debuff, and then HP drain, and then with the CT down and charge time 3. So basically you also can use him on the raid boss and so. Yeah, he's really very powerful. Even if you don't have his mementos, he's quite powerful enough anyway, but with these mementos, he's quite god. Okay, for the next unit, Bota. Well, she's one of the 3 elders from the Saga lands, and then in order to get her, you need to have these mementos, and then you need to max break in order to get her. And her overall ranking is SSS plus as a support unit. Why? Because this job is really a cheap job as a support job. And why she is so powerful support unit? Because of the side ability, these 2 skills increase the physical attack times 2 or magic attack times 2, and it's a buff panel. So as long as any allies is within the buff panel, we have physical attack or magic attack times 2. And then second thing, this rational ability, well, only applies to fire, water, wind, and thunder. The enemy will have the resistance down and can be stacked 3 times, and skill can be activated, and the shooting range is 5. So basically it is as good as a summoner enchant job, but the summoner enchant job reduces the light and dark resistance. This is only the 4 elemental, but it's still very good. And then third thing about her is, her passive is also cheap. Like for example this one, when she and your allies is beside each other, she and your ally will have dual regen. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing, this one is a second gate passive. She and your ally will have physical attack, magic attack, and speed up. Can be stacked with the physical attack buff and magic attack buff. So technically, she's a cheat. Just get her if you can. Okay, next is Isabella. And then she's a limited 5-star unit with this unique job. Basically, she's quite a powerful physical attacker. As you can see, the physical attack is so high. And then her overall ranking is SSS with the mementos. And then about her main ability, most of them is a moving skill. Like for this second and third and fourth skill, is a moving skill. So she has 3 moving skill, and this skill is actually quite good. If the opponent has the speed debuff or silent status, the damage increase, and it is quite high. And good thing is, the skill usage is 5 and the usual cost is really very cheap. So basically you can spam this skill on the raid boss. And second thing is, her side ability, this skill. For the 5 turns, her physical attack times 2, but all defense down. So you can use this skill from the start to increase her overall attack, so that all of the skill power times 2, so it's quite good. And then her rational ability is also very good, yeah, with the speed down debuff. And if her HP is low, the damage will increase. And then for the next unit, Julia. And she's a Genesis unit And then her overall ranking is SSS to SSS+, yeah, in between, with the mementos. As you can see, she has the recently adjustment. Her overall physical attack is this high, and the speed is actually quite high, and then her main ability is really very good, especially this one. You can use 2 times. So technically, she will have the charge time 2.5 for the physical attack for 3 turns for 2 times. Even though it increased her jewel cost, but it's okay. And then there's one more thing about her is, with this new mementos, this one, is really very good. Since one of the main ability requirement is, if she has a soul status, the power increase. But for this visual ability, it's really very powerful. If the opponent has the soul status, the opponent will have the slash resistance down. And if she has the soul status, her slash attack greatly increase. Yeah, so basically after activate this visual ability, and then you use the main ability, 3rd skill, this one, if she has a soul status, the damage will be very high. And if the opponent have the physical defense down, the damage increase for this skill. So basically she got 2 very powerful skills, and you can use this skill from the start so that her overall attack power increase. And there's one more thing about her is, from the accessory, this one. It's really a cheap skill. Yeah, this one is, the lower her jewel is, the higher the damage is. And also, if the opponent has the physical defense down, the damage increase. The problem is, this skill jewel cost is 0. So basically, if her jewel is really very low, you can use this skill for the highest damage. So that's all about Julia. Okay, for the next unit, Dark Phantom Mera. And then she's a Genesis unit with only 3 gates. And her overall ranking is SSS+ with the mementos. So right now, even though she only has 3 gates, but she's really very powerful magic attacker. Especially the side ability, this skill, is a clock up on herself and with the magic attack up. So basically you can use this skill from the start, so that not only she will be moving very fast, but with the magic attack up. And then her main ability skill is also very good, especially these 2 skills. The damage is actually quite high, and then this skill also not bad, reduce the opponent CT and lower the enemy reaction activation, so it's quite good. And then the reaction ability is also very good, this one. It is from the Summoner Enchant job, well same goes to the Bota, except it is an all elemental resistance down, but it recovers the opponent ally. So this reaction ability is very good for raid boss. But if you are not fighting against a raid boss, you can switch this reaction ability to this one, the default reaction ability. It is a property of maximum HP 50% counter attack with maximum HP 5k and reduce the opponent's speed. So it's also very good. But if you're fighting against a raid boss, this reaction ability will be the better choice. And then for the second gate, if you are not fighting against a raid boss, you can use this second gate passive, increase the speed and everything. But if you're fighting against a raid boss, you can switch this passive to this passive. For every turn, increase the magic attack and can be stacked 20 times, so that her overall magic attack power will be very high. But then she's a Genesis unit, so it's really very hard to train her. But she's one of the units that is worth to train. Okay, for the next unit, Daphne. Anyway, she's also a Genesis unit and with only 2 gates. And then her overall ranking is SSS with the mementos. Well, as you can see her overall status, she's not even an attacker but a tank, because her physical defense is so high. And then her weapon is a shield. And then she got a cover skill, this one, so that you can use this skill to cover your ally, but it only applies to physical damage. So all the magic attack, she will not cover your ally, so beware. And then she also have the HP regen and all defense up, and so and so. And then this skill is based from the physical defense. So as you can see, her physical defense is so high, so the damage is decent, and reduce the opponent's strike resistance and reaction activation. So it's also quite good as a debuff. But then of course the main purpose is the cover skill. And then for the next unit, Killer's Longis. And she's from the Phantom Kill unit, and with this unit job, and her overall ranking is SSS with the mementos. And then with these mementos, she's really very good on the arena. Since she has the human killer and her accuracy is quite high, so she can one-hit kill the Lastalia and Jarrah, as well as this skill is based from the physical attack and physical defense. So as you can see, the physical attack and defense is quite high, so the overall damage will be quite high. But then she is considered a limited unit, and in order to use her, you need to have these back-killers mementos so that she will be very powerful with the accessory here. Okay, next is Molinos. Well, she's a collaboration unit from the Crystal of Reunion. Well, basically it's also from Gumi, and then she has the unit job as well, and her overall ranking is SSS. Well, after her last adjustment, and with the gates everything, she's quite powerful right now, especially she's very strong against the fire unit because of her skill. Yeah, it's really very strong against the fire unit. And then it also reduces the opponent CT to 0, so that the opponent will not move at all. And then if the opponent have the magic defense down, this skill power also increase, so it's also quite good. And there's one more good thing about her is, you can guarantee get her from the stat 5 summon if I'm not wrong, and this mementos is a free mementos. So compared to Arthur, she's much more easy to get and trade. Okay, for the next unit, Libra. Well, he's a collaboration unit from the Tensei Sera or Reincarnation Slime, and then he has the unit job, and his overall ranking is SS only with the mementos. Why SS? Because he got a very big problem about the main ability. Yeah, especially if you use auto. The AI is so stupid that I don't know why this skill will forever will not be used if you use auto. And it's a permanent increase on all parameter and can be stacked 3 times. So if he never use this skill, he will be very weak. So the AI will only use these 2 skills. So basically, he's not really that powerful if you're using auto, but if you manage use him, he's quite powerful. Okay, for the next unit, Mikasa. Well, she's a collaboration unit from the Attack of Titans, and she has a recently adjustment on her job and with all the gates right now, and then her overall ranking is SS+. Well, even though after the adjustment, she's quite powerful than before, but then she's very powerful against a giant unit. But it's only giant unit, so if you are fighting against non-giant unit, her overall damage is not really that high. Even though when you activate this skill, she'll have the 3 turns critical damage up, and her critical rate is quite high. But then, as long as you are not fighting against a giant unit, the damage is somehow okay only. Okay, for the next unit, Diona. And then she is a collaboration unit from the Nanatsu no Taizai or 7 Deadly Sin. And then after the adjustment, all of the 7 Deadly Sin unit become quite powerful with the 6 gate. And then her overall ranking is about SS. And then of course, in order to use her, you need to have the limited mementos to increase the overall attack power. And then her main ability of this skill is really very powerful, but provided her HP is maximum. And then she also very strong against a fire unit, and she also can buff your ally physical attack and magic attack. It's really a lot. But then you need to be careful on the reaction ability. Even though it's a probability area counter attack, but your ally will also getting the damage. She may easily kill your allies, so you need to beware on your allies to stay away from her. And then for the next units, okay, this is the last character I'm going to talk about, Lame. Well, she is a collaboration unit from the ReZero, and it's a recently collaboration, and then her overall ranking is SSS+. Yeah, she's really very powerful with the mementos everything. And then she got a very interesting master ability is from her weapon. Well, when her HP is below 25%, she will have permanent Oni form, and then all parameter increase, and HP completely recover, and all her main ability changes. So basically, when she turns into Oni form, all of her attack will be very powerful, and with the property of critical and charge time 5. But of course, you can use the normal main ability first, especially against a beast unit. It reduces the defense for 3 turns. But even if you are not fighting against a beast unit, the damage is still quite high, so it's okay. And then she also can reduce the opponent's strike resistance down, and speed down, and physical attack down. So she can be a very good debuffer. As well as the accessory, this one is also very good. It is a skill attack, and it reduces her HP, and with the jewel regen for 1 turn, and without any jewel cost. So with this skill, you can reduce her HP so that she can easily activate the Oni form. So imagine if her HP is very low, after that you can use this skill to reduce her HP and instantly turns her into Oni form so that she will be very powerful. So I guess that's all about Ram. and all the water ranking. So that's all about the water ranking. I will not cover these 4 units, but Minanio I no comment, but these 3 units can be quite powerful, and Pyromania is also not that bad as a normal unit, and this is quite a powerful magic attacker as a 3 unit, and this Imusa is also not bad, but I will not cover them. As well as the other water unit I don't have. So I guess that's all about the water ranking. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys got any question about this water ranking, please comment. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video. See ya, sayonara.